What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the live stream, Kyle.
Man, I miss that intro music.
Goes hard.
So much it goes hard in the paint.
Yo, absolutely.
It feels good to be live again. I know I missed last week's episode. Sorry about that. I had
Missed your own show. Shame on you.
It was one of those things. I bought tickets for a concert before we decided we were going to go live that day, and it is one of my favorite bands, so it is what it is.
Yeah, huh?
But here I are, and here I'll be for the rest of the season.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. You've got 20 weeks? We got till January. You got to be here every week till then. So
unless I'm on my deathbed, I will be here every Tuesday for the rest of the year.
I can appreciate that. Okay, so we've already got some conversation going over here on Instagram. So let's do that. Let's see. Garrett Wilson. This is a trade question. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Evan Ingram for CMC, Terry McLaurin, and Freiermuth. Who wins the trade?
Say it one more time.
Well, my question on this is it dynasty or redraft?
Well, give me that first thing again. I
know, I'll give it to you. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Evan Ingram for CMC, Terry McLaurin, and Freiermuth.
All right. To me, whether it's dynasty or it's redraft, side number one wins.
With Wilson?
In a vacuum, yes. In a vacuum, I want that side. There's more value on that side overall. But you also have to factor in, we don't know what the rest of their rosters look like and what those teams are and all of that. But just in a vacuum, I'd rather have that group of three than the CMC side of three. And I know it's come up a lot on the Fantasy Football Advice Network app, the questions around CMC versus like Brees and Bijan and those. There's a lot of concern around CMC this year. He's getting up there in age. He's gone a couple years without injury. People are feeling like there's a good chance he ends up. I know you can't predict those things, but it just kind of has a feeling of one of those kind of years for him.
I feel like every time we talk like that about a player, though, it ends up never coming around.
Well, you know what? Maybe we're trying to reverse engineer an extended career like we did with Derrick Henry. I mean, we've been doing that with Derrick Henry for years. So maybe we're trying to extend his playing career by hitting the reverse psychology, the old Uno reverso, if you will, and calling.
I think the only difference is CMC has an injury history where Derrick Henry really didn't up until late.
Yeah. Well, what's funny
for me,
for Derrick Henry, what was so funny was he just plays so violent. He really was only a full-time starter, getting a full workload for like 2 years, and people are already calling for his demise. And it's like, bro, yeah, that kind of a beating for a normal man would wear him down pretty quick. But like, he's huge. He's a monster. He's not a normal guy. It's kind of like Adrian Peterson. You know, he's a freak of nature. You can't apply the normal laws of, nature to this guy. That's we've extended so much beyond people calling for him, whereas CMC has had a lot of injuries and things. So,
yeah, I guess for me, like in this trade, I see DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin are pretty even. In fact, I might like Terry McLaurin more than DK Metcalf. And then Freiermuth, I think Evan Ingram over Freiermuth. I think that's
quite a bit, I think, with that offense in Pitt now.
Yeah, I agree.
Quite a good margin.
So for me, really, it comes down to it's like a Garrett Wilson and Evan Ingram for CMC, almost.
Yeah.
But CMC is a league winner, man. If he stays healthy, I mean, it's a bit of a gamble. But
if Rodgers stays healthy, I think Garrett Wilson can be too.
Yeah, he could be up there.
He's going a lot later than he should with an Aaron Rodgers throwing at him because of last year and because of recency bias. And so I think it really what it boils down to is what are your team needs?
Yeah.
If you're deep at running back and you need a stud receiver, maybe an improvement at tight end over Freiermuth, then boom, pull the trigger.
Yep.
If you're the one with CMC and you have decent receivers and tight end already, like I wouldn't worry about it. I didn't want to CMC. So that's really what it boils down to. But in a vacuum, give me Wilson Ingram.
Cool. All right, let's move on to some of these others really quick. Name 3 players, middle rounds, you love this year.
I have to say hi to Albert first.
Okay,
I have to say hi to Albert.
What's up, Albert? Thanks for popping in.
Missed you, my guy. Thanks for being the first one back in on my first live back. I appreciate you. I look forward to a good season with you again. Okay, now you can go back to your questions.
All right, back over here to IG. Name 3 players, middle rounds you love this year.
Middle rounds.
Would you consider what would you consider middle rounds, kind of like 7, 9?
Like, yeah, 6 to 10, somewhere in there.
Okay. I've got one that I
3?
like. Go for it.
I get to pick 3 of my favorites, I guess.
Yeah.
You go ahead. If you got one, go
ahead. For me, I like DeAndre Swift. I think DeAndre Swift, people don't know what's going on there. They're worried about too many running backs, but I think we saw a glimpse of what I was thinking would happen. The other day, we saw Caleb Williams just kind of let a quick little dump off as he's getting tackled, just a little dump off pass to Swift, and Swift went for like 40 yards. And I see that happening multiple times. And so I think Swift is being discounted more than he should. He's a good talent. Yeah, he might lose some reps to Herbert and Roschon, but I still like him there this year.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites this year is Christian Kirk.
Yeah,
and because I think him and that rookie Brian Thomas they just drafted, I think they'll complement each other very well. Ridley's gone, Zay Jones is gone. I think Kirk's target share goes back up where it was his first year when he just absolutely went nuts, and he's sharing with a rookie. So it's like I really think he's being underdrafted right now. He's not getting the respect he deserves. Christian Kirk is one that I really, really like, kind of sneaky there in the middle rounds.
I can easily for me, it's really easy. I feel like I can do multiple running backs. I feel like a wide receiver that gets overlooked quite a bit that I like is Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is just not I guess a sexy player to get. I don't know if that has to do with him or actually Lamar Jackson. I don't know, but Zay Flowers is a good wide receiver and produces. I like Zay Flowers in those later rounds. I mean, you can probably pick him up in the 8th round.
Yeah, a running back I like is Brian Robinson with Washington. Mm-hmm. Yep. Everybody's taking Eckler earlier. Everybody's looking at Eckler like he's going to be the Eckler that he was with the Chargers, and he's not. I mean, you've already seen that just in the starter snaps in the preseason here. Like, Brian Robinson's going to be involved, and he's going to be running the ball. Eckler's going back to being passing down specialist. And with Jay Daniels running that offense now, I think you're going to see a little bit more running lanes. I think Brian Robinson surprises some folks this year. Hell, last year, he was performing super well in the beginning of the year before injuries and just a bad offense caught up to him, essentially. So, yeah, I like Brian Robinson as a value running back in the middle rounds for sure.
I agree. A few other just quick hits. I know they only asked for 3, but I feel like
I think we go 3 apiece, kind of pick our 3 favorites.
Well, I was just going to really quick, here's 3 more running backs. James Conner, Ramondre Stevenson, and Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, those are 3 guys I love.
/ Najee Harris. Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris are kind of being drafted right there, kind of really close to each other, and I like them both.
Jaylen Warren right now is dealing. He just hurt himself.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I think it's a hamstring. He's going to be pushing for week 1, but I still love him for the whole season.
Yep.
For sure.
Love the running backs on that team right now. So those are just some quick hitters.
Let me pick one more kind of favorite just so we get the trifecta. If you're looking at, let's see, I did a running back and a receiver. I'm going to say let's look at Brock Bowers in the middle rounds. I think this guy's good enough, even with Minshew in that offense. I think he still finishes a top 5 tight end this year. I've been pushing that all over the app. I've been saying that for a couple months now. I think Bowers is a steal as a wait and see tight end. If you miss out on the top 6, the big 6,
Yeah.
love Bowers in the middle rounds.
Okay, so we got another question over here. I have the option to keep Zamir White in the 10th round, 12-man league. Isn't that good value?
Depends what your other options are.
Yeah.
We get in these debates a lot where it's like, oh, I can keep – one good example was, I can keep Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 1st or 2nd or whatever it was. Or I can keep, Kyron Williams in the 7th or 8th or whatever that was.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, okay, if you believe Kyron can repeat, sure. But, like, even though it's an earlier round, you don't want to give up a keeper like Amon-Ra St. Brown. So even if you have a guy like that, you don't want to keep a Zamir White just because it's a later round, because then you're still going to just turn around and redraft whoever you just gave up anyways. So, like, you might as well just keep the stud.
I was going to say, I'd be curious to know what the other options are. It's a fine, I guess, value, but I don't know how much I trust Zamir White as their starter either. So
I think I trust him a fair amount this year, but I don't think, like, when you're thinking about keepers in Dynasty, it's a short-sighted keeper.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's see. People love my Zay Flowers. Nice. Or I can take a shot at a rookie. He would be my flex at best or a bench player. Well, what are some of your other options on your team? Like, do you have any studs that might cost you like a 3rd rounder or something? Because like Kyle was saying, that guy that had Amon-Ra for a 3rd rounder was a no-brainer,
Yeah.
Someone who is still an early pick, but still a good value. It's worth giving up.
What types of rookies would you be taking a shot at in place of, though? Like, which is there a particular set that you would probably have to pick from there? Because there's some pretty good rookies in this crop.
There are some really good rookies this year.
So that's something to consider.
No doubt. So it is worth considering. Let me see. I don't think I really missed any. Yeah. So let's see. We'll wait for him to get back with us. We did have a question earlier posed to us that I would like to touch on. And that question, let me find it, is if you're on the clock and redraft full PPR, are you taking Waddle or are you taking Neighbors?
Redraft, I want Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
The year before last, the dude was a monster while still playing opposite Cheetah in that offense.
Yeah.
Last year, struggled. Why? Injuries.
Yeah,
it wasn't because he wasn't good. It wasn't because Tua wasn't good. The guy had some injury issues, and it hampered him last year. It just did.
Yeah, I felt the effects of that. That's very true. It was injuries.
Yeah, and I think he bounces back this year. As long as he stays healthy, he'll bounce back this year. I mean, I hate that as long as he stays healthy line, because I feel like you could say that about everybody. So, like,
every freaking player, yeah.
I do think he bounces back this year, has a really good year. For me, Neighbors is more of a dynasty pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have that much faith in Daniel Jones or that offense.
I agree. That offense is going to be rough.
I think he's going to be an absolute beast down the line, but I don't think it'll be this year.
I would agree with that. Okay, we heard Beckover says it's not really a keeper league in draft. I drafted him last year in the 15th round. So if I keep him, he would move up at the 10th round.
I don't know what's going on in that league, brother.
It's not really a keeper league, but then you can keep him.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm confused about that too. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know, man. On that question earlier about Waddle, I said Waddle as well, and the response was under 80 catches 2 years in a row, does that concern you? And I said, not as much as Danny Dimes does. I don't trust Danny Dimes. I'm not even sure if he'll have his starting job by the end of the season. Halfway through the season, he may get freaking benched. Who knows? They start into the future.
The thing is, he's so explosive with those 80 catches. And last year, like you say, it was because of injuries. It wasn't because he just only earned 80 catches,
Right.
So, yeah, I like Waddle this year to bounce back a bit. I think that's another great kind of a value wide receiver this year that's being disrespected quite a bit, I believe, in drafts.
Yeah, Waddle missed some good time last year. He missed a total of 3 full games. In this league I'm looking in, actually, that's not a good league to look in. Let me find another where it's got some normal type scoring here.
He was definitely in and out of several, though.
So he finished as the number 34 wide receiver, and that's with missing 3 full games. He went out, obviously. He played 43% snap share against Dallas in Week 16, so he got hurt there. There was another one. Yeah, there's a couple in here. He has really low snap count shares, like under 50% a couple of times. So around 60% multiple times. Yeah, he struggled with some injuries last year for sure. But the ones where his snap count share was around 70 and above, he scored double digits pretty easily and consistently. And some up around 20 or above 20. So I'm about that, dude. I like Waddle a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a Waddle fan. In fact, I'm a fan of almost all the players in that Dolphins offense.
Yeah, if you can get into that offense. Even now, like this Jalen Wright, this rookie, he's going to have a role. He's looked too good in the preseason to not have some sort of role alongside Achane and Mostert. So, yeah, keep your eyes on that offense this year, man.
Yep.
All them players going to make Tua look good and look like he actually deserves that new contract he got.
Man, I tell you, that dude has one of the easiest jobs.
Right? Just throw it up. You got 8 guys fast enough to just run under it. Like, you don't have to aim anything. It's
absolutely
not fair. It's a cheat code. Actually, I guess it's a cheetah code.
Huh. Oh, man. I'm coming. I'm going to invite some friends over here to hang out with us.
Yeah. Come on in.
All right. Let's see really quick. We had some other questions I was going to touch on here. Oh, here was one that was kind of interesting. In a 12-team PPR, but it's a tight end premium, so a half-point tight end premium. Okay. If you're making a trade, would you trade away Pacheco for Andrews and Likely? Keeping in mind that it's a tight end premium league. Now, here's the catch, though.
If I needed a tight end, I damn sure would.
Right. But here's the catch. Your other running backs are Swift, Gus Edwards, Akers, and Dowdle. So really, you've got Swift and Gus Edwards. Your tight ends, it would leave you with Parkinson, Musgrave, and Kincaid.
So he has Kincaid already.
So he has Kincaid, and if he trades away Pacheco, he only has Swift and Gus Edwards, essentially.
If he's already got Kincaid, I'm hanging on to Pacheco.
I think you have to. I think it hurts your overall starting.
Unnecessary in his name, Pacheco. I was listening to the wish list all last weekend at the X-Bay say Pachenko when he kept saying that name. And so now I did it. No, dude, I'm hanging on to Pacheco because your running backs are shallow without him. They're shallow with him.
Yeah.
And if you already got a Kincaid, who I absolutely love this year.
Absolutely.
Offense with no receivers. I mean, you got Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman. Like, okay. Dalton Kincaid is Josh Allen's #1 target this year.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's not worth trading off. And this is coming from a guy who loves tight ends, would start them in a flex in a heartbeat.
I know, same.
But I think Pacheco is going to be top 10 this year. You already have a top 10 tight end. Sit tight.
Yeah, there's just no wiggle room there. Now, with injuries and bye weeks, I mean. But at the same time, if you feel confident that you can line up another trade somewhere to get another running back, because I don't know what wide receivers or anything are on there, you might be able to line up like a Musgrave plus something else to go get you another running back, or even Musgrave, Gus Edwards might be able to get you an upgrade on Gus Edwards or something. So there might be multiple deals there that can be made, but man, you got to be confident you can do it.
Those types of deals are tough because being a 12-team league, everybody's going to be shallow at running back. And so that's why he's getting such a good deal for Pacheco, is because nobody else is willing to trade him to running back without getting a running back in the deal.
Yeah, he should almost throw like a Gus Edwards swap for just a little bit of an upgrade or something. I don't know. Hard to say. That's all the information we have. So getting back over here on that keeper league, it said it's only keepers in last 4 rounds. So you can only keep people from the last 4 rounds, it sounds like.
So last 4 rounds or a rookie.
Sounds like it says. And he drafted him in the 13th round, but he would be a 10th round this year. So I don't know. That's
fine. If that's all you can keep, I mean,
it sounds like that's all you can. That's probably one of the better late round keepers that are going to happen in that league.
Yeah.
So, okay. It says, thoughts on Anthony Richardson. If you draft him, would you pick another QB late?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
You have to. You have to buy Richardson insurance. It doesn't have to be like the next round. Like you can wait and take like a Stafford or something like that quite a bit later, I feel like. But yeah, I'm not coming out there without a second startable quarterback.
No, I completely agree with that. What kind of who are you targeting maybe later?
Well, Stafford would be a good one, who I just named. Goff.
Yeah.
Deshaun. Baker.
Yep.
Those kind of guys. Rodgers, maybe.
I feel like Rodgers is going later than typical.
Later than he probably should. But even when you're looking at like Cousins, Derek Carr, like I'd be okay with one of them.
Yep. Those are good backups. They're just insurance.
Yeah.
Yep. Goff to me is at the top of that list, but he might be hard to get later, depending on how much later you're willing to wait. Goff is.
I feel like he still doesn't get kind of the respect he deserves in that offense in fantasy.
Yeah, you're probably right. Also, just want to highlight we got Millie Mills.
Millie,
what's up, Millie?
My friend.
Thanks for popping in here, my guy. Nice to see you. Okay.
You know, it's funny. We're talking about Goff and not getting the respect. So, like, when you're looking at some of these guys and where they get drafted, Purdy, Tua, they get drafted in the 10 to 12 range, sometimes. But then, like, they always have Goff after that. So I'd rather have Goff than, like, a Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Or a Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't know. That's just me, I guess. But any of those kind of guys in that range would be fantastic to pair up with a Richardson. And you can get them several rounds later.
Let me see. All right, let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to juggle lots of windows here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Here's one. who has a better year this year? Are you going with Chase Brown or Tajay Spears?
Brown.
Yeah, I am too. I feel like Tajay Spears, man, people were hyped for Tajay last year. And then Derrick Henry going away. Oh my God, it's his year, blah, blah, blah. But then they went and got Pollard. And so to me, that really, really hurts him.
Yeah, for me, because it's like they've been talking a whole lot about this 1A, 1B in Tennessee with Tajay and Pollard, and I think it's going to work out that way. I think it's going to be a pure 50-50 split.
Yep.
And then it's going to be a complete crapshoot on which one happens to get the touchdowns. I don't think they're going to have a red zone specialist or anything like that. I think it's just going to be a complete crapshoot. And that can be super stressful. Whereas in Cincinnati, Brown has been gaining a lot of momentum. Shout out to our boy Wishlist for calling the Chase Brown train back in May.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
All of our dynasty leagues, he's been acquiring him. He crushed that from the beginning because everybody and their grandma thought Zach Moss coming in was going to be the guy. Well, he's going to get a pretty good workload still, but Chase Brown appears to be the guy. And so that, I think, is a much clearer picture than the other one. I think he'll get a larger split of the carries in Cincinnati. So, yeah, I think Brown and the quality of those touches is going to be higher because they're a better team. And so he'll have a chance at more red zone carries and, quality touches versus, I don't know. We'll see what Levis can do. He's got a lot of talent on that offense.
He does, but
So we'll see what he can do with it. But it makes me a little nervous is all.
it makes me nervous too. I guess my thought on Chase Brown was just that when Mixon got traded, I figured they were going to bring somebody else in, not even just Zach Moss. I thought they were going to go get somebody else. Yeah. And so I stayed away from it, and they never brought in anyone else.
Just Zach Moss.
Which makes me think that they have confidence in him because they didn't go pursue anything else. So, well, here I am just with nothing now. So I have 0 shares of Chase Brown.
Well, that's the problem. Like you say, Wishlist was scooping him up in April and May when all of us were like, no way. And now that he has him and he's gained all this momentum, you can't pry him from his dead cold hands.
Well, no. Now, let's be fair. He was trying to trade him as the RB1 when he was still RB3. So let's not like.
Well, yeah, but now that he is RB1, you can't get him from
now. But he was never a good price. He's never been touchable.
He's never been a good price in trades, but he was calling for Chase Brown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see.
Millie I just want to give credit where it's due.
Millie says means Higgy and Chase finna eat this year. We shall see. We shall see. That offense is probably going to be pretty decent.
No Tyler Boyd. Higgins should, if he can stay healthy, Higgins should be pretty solid.
No doubt. Okay, Millie, we'll come back to yours really quick. We got another one over here. 2 QBs you guys like this year. I mean, that's easy. There's so many QBs I like this year.
God, there's a ton, yeah.
Ugh.
Does he mean like not?
I would guess not obvious.
Not the obvious ones.
But I'm going to use Millie Mills here because he mentions 2 here that I think fit that list, and that's Kyler and Love.
Kyler was going to be my number 1.
Yep, same.
He's still being drafted super low, and he has the highest upside of anybody being drafted outside of the top 8 quarterbacks. Like, this guy can finish top 5. He's fully back healthy from that injury now. He's got more talent. He's got better receivers now. Like, Kyler Murray could finish top 5. He has that kind of upside. So I'm loving Kyler Murray at his price for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why people are still overlooking him. Maybe they just forgot about him. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
everybody heard that Call of Duty shit when he was rehabbing his knee, and so they've just discounted him, and he's about to blow him out of the water this year. The other one I have would be, we were talking about him earlier, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's still being drafted too low for the offense he's in and the numbers he's produced over the last couple of years in that offense.
Yeah. No, I agree there. Okay, so those are two QBs
you get cheap that can start for your team every week.
That's funny. We literally had because Jared Goff was the other one on my list. I know we already talked about him before. That's why I was like, well, these two also, but those were the three. Okay, Millie Mill says Kyler, Love, Caleb, or Daniels. Which is your starter and bench?
I don't understand the starter and bench thing, so I'm just going to, and I think you've got them in the right order already.
You have Caleb over Daniels?
Yeah, I do, but it's close.
It's close. Here's the thing, and I hate that I have to say this, but Caleb is already convincing me more than I was thinking he was going to be.
More than I was hoping.
I don't have anything against him. The dude's weird. He's really weird.
He left Oklahoma. That's what I have against him.
He's kind of an ass, really. I don't hold it against him that he left Oklahoma. I mean, he followed the coach that recruited him. He wanted to play for. I don't blame him there. I was surprised he actually thought he might stay when he contemplated that for so long. That was actually surprising. I figured he would just follow Lincoln Riley out to USC right away. So, he's been pretty impressive actually. But you know what helps with that is he's a little fucking cocky. He's a cocky little shit. And but I'll be interested to see once he gets lit up the first time or two. I'll be curious to see just how cocky he stays. We'll see how he holds up. Yeah. But as of right now, he's looking pretty decent and pretty confident. So, and I know it's just preseason, but some QBs still struggle through preseason. So, especially rookie QBs. But I'm liking him. But I think you're right, Kyle. It's that order: Kyler, Love, Caleb, Daniels, for me as well.
No.
Oh, look, Tyler jumping in here. What's up, man? How's it going? Jumping in off of Twitter there, or X or Twixer. There you go. I'm going to start calling it Twixer. That's pretty good. Yeah, Des Bryant, get that? Why is it called X? Okay. Millie, what about Bo Nix? Where does he fall with y'all?
I'm my top 20. He's a QB3 this year. I don't hate him. I don't hate him as a dynasty stash, but I don't think he's startable this year. Unless we see the injuries at QB that we saw last year, I don't think he's startable this year.
But you're rostering him in a super flex.
Super flex, certainly rostering. Like you say, he's a QB3. Like he's somewhere arguably in that 20 to 30 range, but I'm not.
But
I'm not picking him as one of my top two.
But Bo Nix was oddly undervalued. I've always liked Bo Nix. I thought, watching him in last year's bowl game, I was like, why is this guy not getting more chatter? It was weird to me. So, for me, I'm not really surprised.
The reason I prefer him in Dynasty is I think not only he, but that offense as a whole, that team as a whole, improves over time. This year, I don't think they're going to be able to put it together with him as a rookie. I don't see it going well this year. But definitely would love to stash him in Dynasty.
Yeah, I like Bo Nix, and I think he's got, like you said, potential. And this year, we'll see how that team does. Next year, I think they make a pretty good leap. So, and of course, they've got a good coach there for him. So, we'll see how it goes. It's Mr. Bone Cutter. Look at that. What's up, Noah? All righty. We got Mr. Badass up in here. I love that last name. All right. Rate my team, 12 team, third pick. Robinson, Achane, Evans, Higgins, Mahomes, Goddard, Flowers. I don't care for your tight end.
Yeah, somewhere has to suffer, though. Running backs, great.
Are we talking Bijan there, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Third pick. Yeah, that'd be Bijan.
I would hope so. Well, it could be Mahomes. You never know.
I like the running backs, like the QB, like the receivers. Not a fan of the tight end. I mean, I guess 1 to 10, we're probably looking at about a 8.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say an 8, a high 8. I like it.
I'm not as high on Higgins as some people. And honestly, with now Jalen Wright and everything, like maybe not as high on Achane as some people are going into this year. Yeah, he's gonna be good. I don't think he's gonna see the volume people are hoping for. He's not gonna make that volume leap that Jahmyr Gibbs is. And so, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen what was on the board when you took Achane and Higgins, but ultimately, pretty solid, bro. That's a playoff team.
I would assume that's a playoff team. Bijan's going to be big this year. I like Flowers as your number 3 wide receiver. I think that's a good pickup. Probably got him at a good price. Evans, I like Evans again this year. I think he's going to be a big one. So you have some big hitters here, right? Like Bijan can score big for you every week. Evans can go off. Achane can go off. He has that potential. Mahomes is going to be super solid. So you've got some big hitters on here that can carry your team. So
I think Bijan probably ends up RB1 by the end of the season. Evans, top 10, easy. Mahomes. I think Mahomes is the top QB this year with adding Hollywood and Worthy. We talked about Flowers earlier. Freaking love that pick. Love Flowers. So yeah, that's a solid squad.
Yeah, I like it. Bijan, I don't know if I'm calling him number 1 overall, but number 1 running back, I would say top 3. I would say fairly easily. I like him as a top 3.
I think he's a pretty good shot at number 1. It'll be him or Brees. I don't think it'll be CMC.
I think if CMC stays healthy, CMC could easily be the number 1 again. They just use him so much. So, oh shucks, look at the Falcon love on here. You rock, sir. No, I mean it's
Falcons not rock. Bijan Robinson rocks. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
I like Dre London and Kyle Pitts a lot too, so I guess they kind of do rock a little bit. Plus their team colors are amazing. If you kind of look around,
I do
a lot of red and black around this network. So,
but any team that puts any NFL team that puts a Chick-fil-A in their stadium that's really only open on Sundays isn't really awesome.
That's diabolically evil. That is some next level evil. What's funny is it's probably just a sign and a gate.
I was thinking the same thing.
You open the gate, it's probably just wall. There's probably not even a kitchen behind there.
Yeah, it's just an
empty room. So mean.
It's really just a storm shelter with a.
They're like, oh, we're having a concert on a Friday night. Let's open the Chick-fil-A. Got them. Like, there's nothing there.
That was just.
And every fat person in that arena is going, oh. That's what I would do. That's what I would do
too. I love me some chicken.
Chick-fil-A is amazing. You know what's funny? I used to not be a big fan of Chick-fil-A. I used to be like, it's just chicken. I preferred Cane's or somewhere like it because of the sauce and things. And then when I got COVID, once I got over the COVID, the only thing that tasted good was Chick-fil-A. And so now I love it. I eat it all the time. It helped me get my groove back after COVID. God's chicken. Go figure. Save me.
I don't know, man. Chick-fil-A, overpriced, overrated for me. But
it's all about that spicy chicken sandwich. The fries could use some work. Those are boring AF.
Those waffle fries that people are so obsessed with,
it's God's chicken, but it's the devil's fries. Okay, those are the most bland, boring.
So bad. But if you want a spicy chicken sandwich, you got to go to Popeyes, my man.
I've had it, and I prefer Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well, we'll have a discussion after this. This might be your first and last live stream of the season, so there's that. Oh, let's see.
Hop to.
Millie says it's never been a year where I'm targeting Derrick Henry, but it just seems impossible not to this year. I mean,
I'm going to draft him every year until he actually dies. Like, that dude he's alien. He's an alien. He's not a human being. He's not normal. Every year till he retires, man. He's Adrian Peterson all over again. That guy could run till he's 37, and I'm drafting him.
Yeah, I'm not scared of it. I think Derrick Henry this year is going to be huge because with a running quarterback that the linebackers, I mean, it's going to be huge for Lamar too. If they do any sort of read option, that defense is screwed because everyone's going to have to pause for a half second to figure out what the hell's going on, and they're going to have to respect both positions. It's going to be ugly for teams.
Well, I mean, if you take what he did for the not so mighty Titans all of those freaking years, and now you put him on a good team that can run the football.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love Derrick Henry this year.
It's gonna be
gross. It's
scary for teams to deal with for sure. I do want to just take a moment really quick and invite people. I have this down covered up here, but I want to invite people. We just launched our very new website and app. You can go to fantasyfootballadvice.com and go check it out, man. Get signed up. It's free. You can always upgrade and get extra benefits and whatnot, but go get signed up and just join the conversation. It actually has fantasy football, basketball, and baseball now, so you can go on there and get that. We're also, for all pro members, we are doing jersey leagues. So you can go on there. If you're a pro member, you can hop in one of our jersey leagues and get a signed jersey for the league. You know what I should do?
The pro membership's $5. If you want to look at it as kind of the league buy-in, you can. But it also comes with fantasy football advice from the entire community. You can get on there and post your questions. I'm running the Cole Kmet signed jersey league. It's a tight end premium league. It's going to be a freaking blast. If you're not into that, Corey's got the Justin Tucker League where they've got fun points for kickers. That one's going to be a blast. Or there's several other ones. We've got an Olave League. There was another one that went out today. I want to say it was was it an ETN League?
Hold on, I'm pulling this up so you can see.
There's a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I want people to be able to see what jerseys we got, but my let's see here.
They all have different rules based on who the player of their jersey is. So like the Ayuk, the Olave, Christian Kirk, those are going to be just like PPR leagues with like long play bonuses for receivers, things like that. A couple of IDP leagues there when you're looking at the CJ Mosley and the Josh Allen league. ETN, I haven't looked at the rules on that one, but it's going to be running back based. So there's all these different kinds of rules. Go find your favorite, kind of different settings. There should be league classifieds on the app for every one of these, or most of them.
Yeah.
So find the one, find the player you like, find the rules you like, find the analyst you like.
I've got 2 spots left in my league. That's the Kicker Plus League. Just looking back on last year, if I was doing the 2023 stats overall for the season, Aubrey finished as the number 10 overall scorer last year with 352 points. It's crazy. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I still got 6 spots left in mine, so I need some people.
So we're talking like Aubrey outscored Amon-Ra and Patrick Mahomes and CJ Stroud and stuff. And then you have another run of kickers. Most of the kickers scored over 300 points last year. So that's how important kickers are in this league, where Breece Hall scored 291. A.J. Brown scored 290. So kickers are super important in this league. They could also lose you a week because if they're missing field goals or extra points, there's larger deductions than usual as well. So for fun scoring there in the Justin Tucker League. And I think other people are having fun with their leagues too.
Yeah, I think other people are. I know, like in my Cole Kmet one, the normal tight end premium is an extra half a point per reception. I've also got an extra point for tight end first downs.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then I also have 2 starting tight ends on my roster. So
nice.
A lot of fun there with tight ends on that one.
That's another point with my kicker league is I put a roster limit of 1. So we're talking kickers score like quarterbacks essentially, but you can only roster 1 at a time. So on your bye week or of a short-term injury, something like that, you have big decisions to be made. So interesting little caveat there. Good times. So anyways, go sign up, fantasyfootballadvice.com. A pro membership only takes $5 to get signed up. If you're not interested in any of that, but just want to be part of the community, come hang out with us, man. We're always on there. Us and our team, we've got, I don't know how many people we got on our team, 14, 15 people on our team. We're constantly on there answering questions, plus other players and stuff, helping each other out. So
other players, other pages, people from other
brands.
Pages and brands and things, like they're all on there doing, like it's amazing. Come hang out. It's a lot of fun. And then if you think you can take on the master and beat him at fantasy football, bring it on.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yesterday, I came up with a brilliant plan for a league that it's probably too late to do this year, but I want to do one next year. And what I would do is I'm going to change the scoring every week for all of the positions. So I don't know, will Sleeper let you do that, adjust the scoring throughout the season?
I don't think so.
It locks it?
I feel like when you update the scoring, it like retroactively corrects the scores then based on the new stat. I think. We'd have to look into it for sure, but I think that's how it works.
I want to do one where the scoring changes every week. And good luck figuring out what that is. 1 week will be a tight end premium. Another week will be like quarterbacks get 6 points per touchdown, per passing touchdown. Another week they're getting 4. Maybe kickers have a big bump, but you don't really know this until Tuesday, when the week kicks off.
That'd be tough. That'd make the draft impossible, though.
Oh, it'd make every week impossible. Every week. The only thing that it would change is how maybe like trades would be really hard. Waiver wire would be really hard. It would come down to setting a strategic lineup every week.
Yeah, it basically, you'd be trading cards. You'd just be, here, I like that player better than this one because I don't know how they're going to score next week.
It would almost need to be like an 8-person league where you need to set a lineup strategically. Instead of, it would be tough. It would be really tough.
It would become like a baseball or a basketball, like a cat league where it's like, okay, I got to have these running backs that, you'd have to have different guys at different positions that did different things. It essentially become like a cat league.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't know. Worth thinking about. Bone Cutter here says Rashee Rice or Zay Flowers.
I'm going Rice.
I am too.
I think he's gonna get suspended here, so I'm all over Rice.
I was gonna say I don't think any of us think he's getting suspended this year. There's been no talk about it, and the season is like upon us.
Yeah, there's been no talk.
So I don't know that he ever serves a suspension ever.
Maybe not. I don't know. The process for these things is so slow, and maybe they forget about it. I don't know, but
I don't know. I think it just depends on if eventually the Dallas police or wherever, I think that's where it was at or whatever, comes back and like finds him guilty. Because sometimes the actual legal part of it does take a long time, and then
that's what I mean. Yeah. Like that process always takes so long.
But used to that didn't matter. Used to they would be like, "Oh, you're under investigation or something's going on. We're going to suspend you until they figure it out."
Remember when they suspended Zeke for doing nothing?
Absolutely. Yep. So it kind of sucks when you have someone who can just play God up there in the NFL offices and doesn't have to have any rhyme or reason for it. So there's a reason why Roger Goodell gets booed all the time.
There's also a reason why they've kind of helped stymie some of his power in the CBA agreements recently. So
yeah, they needed to do such a thing. It's out of control.
Noah, we do love Zay Flowers, but between the two, I'd rather have Rice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Millie.
Millie. Houston wide receivers. Who's the guy? I'll say my pick first. I still think it's Nico Collins.
Same. That's my guy. That is my guy. He's going to be the most consistent. I think he just fits that role. He's already got the rapport with Stroud.
The rapport is huge to me.
Diggs is still going to do really, really good. He's still going to have a really good year. Tank Dell, I think, is still going to have a really, really great year. I think they're going to throw the ball a ton. The problem is Tank's a little more volatile as far as his points, where I think Nico's going to be your most consistent guy there.
I think Tank can be like a boomer bust kind of guy this year. It makes me a little nervous because I just traded for Tank Dell and then they went and got Diggs. So not super happy about that. But I don't know, man. I feel like Tank's going to be boomer bust, but Nico, you hit the nail on the head with that rapport. I feel like they just have so much rapport now. And but Diggs is just Diggs. He's good. He's good.
I think they're all three going to have pretty solid numbers, but
and then they have Mixon now too. Ugh.
Yeah. If I'm picking one, I want Nico for sure.
But that team's going to be damn good.
They're going to be dangerous, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Noah
might be a bit of a changing of the guard there in the AFC. We might see Houston KC in that AFC Championship game this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
That'd be such a good game.
Yeah.
Did they play each other in the regular season this year? I haven't even checked yet.
I don't know. Noah says Tank and Stroud connection is solid. They have good rapport too, but I feel like Tank still got knocked down to number 3. So,
God, Millie going hard in the paint tonight with these questions.
The problem is I don't have an answer for this one.
Yeah, so for me, I think Dontavius Wicks is the guy that comes out as the guy this year. Watson's never healthy, and I think he's overrated. Jaden Reed will be very solid again. The thing is, and I was reading another article that was kind of talking about this too, and I agree. They all have different – all 4 of those guys, including Dobbs too, like they all have a different strength. So like all 4 can play a role in that offense. But I think overall the best receiver there is going to wind up being Dontavius Wicks, and fantasy points wise too, which is why we're all here, right? He's got a nose for the end zone. And so when you're looking at everything else and you add that on top, I feel like that's what puts him at the top of my list for fantasy purposes.
For me, I'm just avoiding Green Bay wide receivers if at all possible.
I'm avoiding Green Bay receivers if I can help it, unless it's like I've got Wicks stashed in Dynasty, and I'm avoiding the Denver running backfield.
No, I agree with that completely. Those are situations that I would rather not try to make a call and just avoid, because you're gonna guess wrong, or there is no right answer, because every week it's going to be someone different. Someone might get a back-to-back week, but then it's just going to be someone else for the next 3 weeks.
And that's exactly what's going to happen in Green Bay.
Absolutely.
That's probably what's going to happen in Houston too.
Oh, yes. I would agree with that. But I don't think it's going to be – yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't trust it, man. I'm staying far away from that Green Bay wide receiving core. And even they're saying, like, don't want to talk about who's the guy, who's the number 1, who's your wide receiver 1. They're like, we don't have one, don't need one.
They're saying they don't have one. Everybody that comes out and says, so-and-so's had a good camp is listing somebody else. Love has a good rapport with all of those receivers. Like, there's not a clear number 1. I feel like, but for me, it's either Wicks or Reed would be my second choice, just based on I think he'll get the most volume, running the shorter routes and slot, things like that. I think Dobbs and Watson end up kind of being the odd men out, because they're a little more, especially Watson. He's just kind of a deep threat, one-trick pony type of guy, and he's always got his hammies hurt. So
Well, but Dobbs is your red zone guy. Dobbs gets a lot of red zone play.
Yeah. I'm 100% not touching Watson anywhere, though, ever.
Yeah, I'm not super high on him. I know he had a little flash in the pan there, but I'm not getting caught up in that. So Millie says, yeah, Reed is a gadget guy, potentially more points. Potentially, if they use him in that way. Hard to say. Especially since their backup running back sucks, and they
like Reed and Wicks are the two that I'm trying to.
Yeah. If we had to pick somebody, all right. Bone Cut. What do you think about the Bengals duo Zach Moss and Chase Brown? So we actually kind of covered this before you hopped in here.
Yeah, but it's on a little bit.
Looking like Chase Brown's the guy there. Going to be not quite split. Cut, what are you thinking? Like a 65-35 split there with Chase Brown, or 60-40 probably?
60-40, 65-35, somewhere in that range.
In favor of Chase Brown.
In favor of Chase Brown, yeah.
That's kind of what
I think he gets a larger cut of that backfield.
Yeah. I'm still surprised they didn't go get somebody else after they traded Mixon, but hey.
I thought they'd draft someone for sure.
Yeah.
But
they must have confidence in Chase Brown. So, hey, to each their own. All right, guys, we just have a couple minutes here before we're popping off. I am going to go ahead and once again invite you to the Jersey Leagues here. That's on fantasyfootballadvice.com, fantasyfootballadvice.network. We have about 12 different URLs that'll get you there, but fantasyfootballadvice.com will get you there too. Get signed up on our social media network for Fantasy Football Advice. And if you're a pro member, you can join one of these Jersey Leagues. I think most of them have at least one spot left. Some of them are filled, I think. But if you join the league, if you win it, you will win a signed jersey of whichever players on that list. So if you join the Tyreek Hill League and you win it, you get a signed Tyreek Hill jersey. So
you don't want that. You want to come win a Cole Kmet jersey against me.
Yeah. Or a Justin Tucker, the GOAT. Well, I say that Aubrey might end up being the new GOAT with his 66 yards. Man. So Justin Tucker's still the GOAT as of right now. I won't even let my Cowboys fandom take over on that one. So Justin Tucker jersey. Hell, I hope I win my own league because I want that jersey pretty bad, if I'm being honest. So going after that. So come join us on the website, get signed up, and join a league. Millie says Chase Brown and Jerome Ford, my late round steals. Yeah, Jerome Ford's an interesting one.
Not too caught up on Ford, I don't think.
I feel like, I don't feel confident in Jerome Ford. Like, he's fine. I feel like he's fine.
He's fine, but I wouldn't call him a steal.
I feel like Zamir White's probably a better bet than Jerome Ford.
Yeah.
And
Chubb got hurt last year, and Ford didn't exactly beat the brakes off of anybody. So,
who do they got? Who else they have there now? Donta Foreman?
Yeah, he just got hurt, I think. I don't remember how bad that was.
I can't remember. Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, he hurt his neck earlier in camp. That's what it was. He's back and playing now. He's fine. See, Foreman's been a pain in so many people's sides over the years. I wouldn't put it past him to get a pretty good chunk of those carries.
Yeah.
While Chubb is still out.
All right. I am
good guy. It is what it is.
I am testing something really quick. While we've got the live rolling, I am just testing a chat live from our actual social media network there. Cool. It works. So, guys, you can also watch this from our social media app and our mobile app. You can watch these streams from there too. And the chat is available on that page as well. So you don't actually have to leave our social media network to chat directly here with us on YouTube. So just saying, got a lot of good technology out there. Go use it. Come ask questions. Come answer questions. Be a part of the community. Win a freaking jersey in one of our jerseys.
The app is amazing. Get answers directly from me and Corey or anybody else you like better than us on there. It's wonderful. Can't wait to see you guys on there.
Yep.
And
All right,
see you
guys.
guys next week.
Yep. Just so you guys know, this year we're doing a hard hour. Last couple of years, we have gone on to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. If we have people here chatting with us, we are doing an hour this year because we are limited on time. We're trying to get more content out for everyone so that you can soak up more information throughout the week. We have us on the channel, but also we have, 10 other content creators plus on the network, also pumping out content all the time, other lives throughout the week. So just so you know, we will be a little bit more limited on time this year, but you can always reach us, like I said, on our network or on other streams.
If we don't get to your question on the stream, put it up in the app. I guarantee you 10 people will answer that thing. So
absolutely. All right.
That's just in the first night. So
yeah. All right, guys, thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday night for another weekly kickoff. See you guys.